Oh, yes, we're back, guys. And the question I want to ask you before we get started right now is, do you want to make some money? Do you? All right. Well, I'm sure the answer is yes. So you're going to want to stick around for this one. We have two altcoins today I'm really pumped to tell you guys about. The first one you might have heard about, but it easily could do 5 to 20x within the next few months. I'm going to tell you exactly how to play this one. Super hyped. You probably heard about it, but the next one I'll tell you about at the end of the episode. This one you probably haven't heard of before. It is a hidden gem and it is a monopoly. Think of it kind of like Chainlink, but a different category. Very, very excited to bring this to you guys. Also, we have Main Street meme madness going on. I'm going to talk about that as well, guys. If you're excited for this show, if you're pumped, go ahead and destroy that like button, guys, because I am. And if you're new to the channel, what's up? My name is Kyle Chasse, been in crypto for 12 years, here to bring you guys all the alpha, everything that you need to know to make sure you absolutely crush it this coming super cycle. With that being said, guys, let's dig into it. The first project we're going to talk about today is Manta. I've been talking to you guys about it already before. And what I would like to see here, guys, what I'd like to see is I'd like to see this thing drop below $2, and that would be a great buying opportunity. Now, is it going to do that? It was off to a very, very rocky start here today, guys, but it has improved. Right now, it's starting to correct a little bit or come back and bounce a little bit. But we'll start to see, because only recently was this massive airdrop. People started to claim their tokens maybe an hour or two ago, and you'll see some of the FUD that was around this. But you can see that when this thing launched in Korea, they didn't care. They didn't care at all. The Koreans pumped this thing to $38 at the listing. If you bought this for $38, I'm sorry. But it just goes to show you that there was a lot of interest in this thing, a lot of FOMO here in Korea. This was Manta, the Korean won. I don't know which, I think it was an upbid or something. Now, because there was a lot of FUD around this launch, the question is this going to follow a similar path to other things that we've seen, like Aptos, Sui, Arbitrum, Say, for example, where you see this kind of launch over here and kind of correct, get some bounces, comes down, goes sideways for a while before it just skyrockets up 6x from here, right? Now, I don't think that Manta is trading at an excessive market cap. Another thing I want to point out here was that back in 2021 on Binance, they did the 6 million MA Polkadot slot auction thing, and this MA has now been converted into Manta. And that's 6 million times $2.20 right now. You're talking about $12.5 million or something. Plus I think, was it 5 or 10% of tokens on the airdrop. So we're talking about some sell pressure that could still come in right now. And I don't know that's been accounted for here. I think people are trying to speculate where the bottom is going to be. Again, so right now at this price, we have it at around a $555 million market cap. Now that's more important than FDV because there are no significant unlocks here for the future. We'll go over the unlocks in just a bit. But you can see that there was some negative sentiment here around the launch. The same thing that happened with Arbitrum, right? The servers got overloaded. People couldn't claim their airdrop. People were pissed. And so you can see here in one of the comments, community got scammed on the airdrop. Manta easily coursed $900 million with TVL with a promise of an airdrop, which turned into a disaster and changed documentation several times regarding supply. Can't believe this dumpster fire got Binance. Okay, this happens. People are pissed. They didn't get their airdrop. They didn't get to sell at $3.50, whatever. And this also happened to me. I still haven't claimed my Manta. I don't care to do so anytime soon. I think it's going much, much higher. No one can claim, right? But I did go check to see if I could. And yeah, all of my things in the new paradigm were showing 0. I couldn't claim. And then they had this DDoS attack, right? And then you have this other kind of conspiracy over here. One of the reasons everybody is stuck is that despite the amounts involved being very well known in advance, Seller Network and Manta didn't think about putting enough liquidity in the bridge for everybody. Incompetence, or maybe someone doesn't want the price on exchanges to be immediately suppressed by pre-salers who bought at 36 cents. So just saying, there was some pre-salers here that were able to get some unlocks today, and they bought at 36 cents or whatever the number was, and they're worried about the sell pressure that could have come in from that. I would love to see some more sell pressure here. I would love to see this price go down below. My strategy here is I will start to dollar cost average into this thing below $2. If it does, and then the closer it would get to maybe $1.70 or something, I would start going more aggressive. Why? Because I think that this thing is still, even today at 555, you know that this thing is probably within the next week or something. I think this is an easy, for sure, 2-3x, right? And, if you look at something like Arbitrum, for example, it's a 6x or 10x if you look at FDV to Arbitrum. So it would be like buying it, Arbitrum today at 20 cents, for example. And Optimism is a 6x in the market cap from where it is right now. So, and then think about, this is also pre-halving, pre-massive bull run, so what do I like about Manta versus Arbitrum and Optimism? Well, they have a lot of TVL. We'll see how much of that sticks. We know that was because of the airdrop campaign. But I want to explain it like this. So we have to think about this. Well, first of all, it has some attractive primitives, right? Ethereum layer 2, cheap, fast, very cheap, right? Why? Because it uses the modular blockchain of Celestia for data availability, which, as you know from the channel, is saving them something like 98% plus in gas fees or transaction fees, which will probably make it the cheapest layer 2 out there. So you got cheap, fast, very cheap, fast. And then Celestia, data availability, modularity, ETH layer 2, ETH ETF coming up. And what I want to talk to you about for a second here is native yield. So you look at, native yield is interesting for end users, right? I mean, in crypto, especially in a bull run, something like 5%, yield isn't so exciting, right? So I mean, I have $100 in stablecoin in my wallet, and they go out and they use, I forget what the protocol's on the back end, and they buy T-bills, and then they pass that 5% on to you. So if I've got $100 in stablecoin sitting in my wallet for an entire year in Manta, then I get $5 throughout the year as native yield. Great, it's okay, but like not super exciting, especially not in crypto terms when we're expecting to make 1,000, 2,000, 3,000% this bull run, right? But what is interesting from me as a builder, for example, so I believe that our project Commonwealth, which will have many, many funds, and I think as we get into the bull run and we start to have hundreds of thousands of people and then eventually 1 million people plus using Commonwealth, in the bull run, we will have several funds that are open at the same time, each of them having, 100 million, 300 million. Hopefully, at the frothy point of the bull market, we open a fund on Commonwealth that raises $1 billion. So maybe we have $1 to $2 billion of stablecoins sitting in these funds, waiting to deploy into projects. The best case scenario for Commonwealth literally is that there's billions of dollars waiting to deploy, and the market comes crashing down. And now Commonwealth is like one of the biggest funds in crypto, or the biggest fund in crypto. And it can take its time in the bear market, which in my opinion is always the best time to invest in great new projects, because you get better valuations and there's less competition on the cap table. So anyway, sorry, segue there for a second. But the important part is, like, if you have $1 billion in stablecoins sitting in Commonwealth, for example, and it's on Manta network and it's earning 5% native yield, that's $50 million a year that Commonwealth is generating without doing anything. And a company that's generating $50 million a year is valued, let's say at a 6x or 10x multiple, right? And we talk about price to earnings ratio quite a bit. So let's just say and if on the stock market, if you listen to like All In podcasts or something like that, they're saying that it's not uncommon for a stock or something to trade on the secondary market, and a crypto coin you could look at it as, well, we know that things like Ethereum are trading at like 150 price to earning ratio, right? So even a conservative 6x price to earnings ratio. No, sorry. Like let's say 20x, right? Price to earning ratio. That would put Commonwealth a $3 billion market cap, just earning $50 million a year from native yield, right? So that's a really big deal. That's why I like Manta from a narrative here perspective. And I think that unless these other protocols, and it wouldn't be hard for other protocols to implement native yield actually. So So I wouldn't be surprised to see if they do it in the future moving forward. I was talking to the head of ecosystem over at ZK Sync, and he was asking, like, do you think that it would be interesting? I told him yes, for Commonwealth it'd be very interesting. We'd love to implement something like that. So to me, it makes a lot of sense. Now let's go back and look at the private sale. So we see that right now we've got 25.1% of the circulating supply circulating. Next unlock, as you can see, all of these private investor, the team. Now advisors they can see some sell pressure from advisors, but usually advisors have some pressure from the team not to sell. Public is linear. So public sale, 80 million, 8% of the supply. 50% was unlocked today, and the other 50% is vested over 6 months. So you see a little bit of sell pressure from there. But this 6% from strategic investors, 13% here, that's 19%. And then institutional investors over here. So 24%, which is a lot, is locked from, and these are the VCs who are holding, big bags of this. You have 12 months until they start to get their unlocks, right? So won't be significant sell pressure here coming forward. We will start to see how this thing is doing. And you can see already it's starting to come back a little bit. So I'd love to see this come down. If you could get this at $1.50, wow, amazing. I don't think it'll go that low, but $1.70 maybe. I love it below $2. So that's, but maybe you're watching this and you're saying, well, Kyle, I don't want to invest in a $500 million, a $2 billion FTV. Okay. I hear you. So let's wait. We'll tell you about something else at the end of this, but let's talk about TARDFi for a little bit. So, I love to see this stuff. So you can see, we know this meme here, and you can see that these traditional massive asset managers, Franklin Templeton being the 20th largest in the world, I think $1.4 trillion of assets under management. And you can see that traditionally the 60-40 split as stocks and bonds is how the asset managers, they're traditionally like pushing things to their clients, right? And now you can see that it's like 60-40 plus Bitcoin on the thing. You also have Franklin Templeton coming out. So they must have also hired a new intern. They get a follow from me. And you can see that other L1s outside of Bitcoin and ETH and Sol have massive potential, and we are continuing to support, monitor, and develop on these networks as they grow and mature. I believe I saw today somewhere that Franklin Templeton is actually running validators for these networks. So that's pretty impressive. And as we come on over here, and we can see that Solana has crossed the chasm, or chasm, wherever you live. The 3 pillars of cryptocurrency are now Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol. I think Sol rightfully has deserved that. You guys know that we've been talking about Sol this bull run since $20. We got in $20. And Franklin Templeton again comes out and says, we're excited to see ETH and its ecosystem despite its midlife crisis and recently experienced. We see bright future with many strong tailwinds to push Ethereum ecosystem forward. EIP 4844, the alternative data availability, aka Celestia, community revitalization and restaking or eigenlayer. We talk about that quite a bit. And then, of course, we come out to say here, again, for Franklin Templeton, intern is just on a roll. You are unsure how to feel about Laser Eye Ben. Just think instead of Ben with a hat. And then all these guys say, what the fuck is happening? Your intern has a fat bag of a meme coin. Clearly, I'm not bullish enough. So you can see that even Franklin Templeton has Benjamin Franklin here with laser eyes. Pretty impressive stuff. And then Van Eck comes out. Again, we've seen the Van Eck intern just do some amazing stuff here. Rule number 1, don't jeet coin if you have laser eyes on. And then you can see Dogwifhat coin come over here. And don't jeet coin if you have laser eyes with hat. And you guys know so Franklin Templeton, like I said, $1.4 trillion under management. This is just remarkable to see the 20th largest asset manager in the world shield a meme coin today. Let that sink in. And Dogwifhat is now in the top 5 meme coin category. You guys know that I've done extremely well, right? I made a killing on Pepe with its run up to Binance. I made a killing on Bonk with its run up to Binance. And you guys also know, if you've been following the channel for a while, we started covering Dogwifhat here. Dog with a hat. Dog with a hat. And the website isn't on here right now. 34, almost 35 million, we started covering it. And today it's sitting at 400. And so we're talking about, what is that, like a 12, 13x from when we started covering it. I'm still holding my entire bag. And we just saw today that we had Binance Futures will launch USDM with, or Dogwifhat coin, perpetual contracts with up to 50x leverage. Now, when Binance Futures listed Bonk last time, from the time that futures listing happened, it was a 7x to the top. Are we going to see 7x? Well, we have a better market than we had with Pepe. We have a better market now than we had with Bonk. And Dogwifhat is literally just a great meme, and it's not going away. So congratulations to you guys who've been watching this and got in with me at $35 million market cap. I'm excited to see this thing run. Look at 24-hour trading volume right now is almost $90 million. It's unbelievable. And so it's still no Binance listing, but we can expect to see probably, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Coinbase listing. Still not listed on a lot of exchanges yet. Like, exchange listings must be coming very soon. Like, I don't see KuCoin on here. Where is everybody? They're sleeping. So, like, I don't see that. So they must have been much more careful here. So we still have a lot of excitement to go, right? We still gonna see. We haven't seen Bybit on here. We don't see KuCoin. We don't see OKX. So yeah, I'm expecting a lot more upward momentum on this one still. Now, Pantoshi says, I don't think there's any way you can look at events of the past years and not think crypto is going to $20 trillion market cap one day. Is it going to happen this bull run? Maybe. Probably 20 trillion, I think, is way underrated, right? And that's because we'll talk about real world assets. But there's a few groups of people that hate crypto, but I can confidently say they will change their minds. Boomers will embrace it. And I say even the left and Europeans who are allergic to money will embrace it too. And if you guys have probably seen other people covering like Jamie Dimon and stuff and Davos, blah, blah, blah. But here's the other altcoin I want to talk to you guys about, Pocket. So full context here, full disclosure, I'm a private sale investor in Pocket like 3 or 4 years ago, guys. I haven't sold a single token yet. And also you can see here that I've talked about Pocket. This is over a year ago I made this video. Just quickly listen. Pocket network and providing a decentralized node infrastructure that connects to all these different blockchains. Right now, Ethereum, Harmony, Solana, Avalanche, Binance, et cetera, et cetera. And let me know in the comments below, guys, if you want me to make a video on Pocket network. It's pretty remarkable what they're doing. In fact, a lot of people don't even know about it, but it truly enables us to connect two different blockchains in a decentralized, permissionless way with 100% uptime. Compared to, and way less cost than something like AWS. Now, MetaMask, so that is essentially the key, right, to Pocket Network. And right now it's trading at $400 million market cap. Almost all the tokens are in circulation. 381. So you got a nice little correction right here, guys, 381. And 400 fully diluted. Now, here is the key to this here. So Andrew Kang says, we used to call Pocket Network decentralized Infura, right? And I did too. When I made that video was about one of the projects I really like, Web3 wallets by Sons of Crypto. And they were one of the first wallets to be using Pocket to connect to blockchains, right? Other wallets like MetaMask, for example, until I'll show you here in just a second, have been using Infura, which is a centralized connection relay, from Consensus, right? The guys from Joe Lubin and co-founder of Ethereum. And so we used to call Pocket Network decentralized Infura, but now Infura is actually routing traffic through Pocket. Wow. Huge strategic move for Pocket to become an open RPC base layer, because now they've established themselves as a backbone for RPCs across all blockchains. And if you guys don't know, RPCs are like when you, it's basically a routing protocol. When you select MetaMask and you need to switch your network to, Avalanche or Optimism or Base or whatever, these are essentially RPCs, right? Whenever you add a new network, you need to add a new RPC. And So that's what they are. They're a decentralized open RPC and much more. They're already enriched as the winner, and every partner like Infura or Nodes serve to further scale the network effects. One of the only cases where decentralized networks is 80% cheaper than centralized alternatives. Why? They've completely disrupted existing providers by creating an Uber for nodes. The massive taxi companies of crypto becoming obsolete. Not only the TCP of crypto, but the upcoming Shannon upgrade also will be a general purpose relay communication network for all public databases and services, including custom large language models. With AI advancing as fast as it is, AI to AI and AI to human devices to AI communication requests will soon see massive traffic, and Pocket stands to be the best network to connect their endpoints given its decentralization and cost. RPC is RESTful requests and already supported with WebSockets coming later this year. Unbelievable stuff. The market cap for decentralized computation, data availability, execution networks is in the hundreds of billions, and competition is fierce. Mentioned Pocket last year around $100 million market cap. I did too. It's now 300. Now it's 400. Facing a future deca billion-dollar opportunity, and with its current trajectory, there is no competition. And this is why you guys see me being so bullish on Chainlink. I love finding these narratives. I love finding someone who's been building something so unique for so long. And like Manta's great, right? But Manta has so much competition. You got Blast coming soon, which will steal market share, good marketing. Other L2s can choose to use Celestia for data availability, cutting down their gas fees, and they can integrate native yield. And so all of a sudden you have like what was once unique idea for Manta becomes less unique. For Pocket Network, these guys have been building like decentralized infrastructure for connecting to blockchains for like 5 years or whatever, right? I've known Michael Alrouk for a long time now, and what they're doing is absolutely phenomenal. And they're so far ahead of the game of any type of competition that this truly makes it unique. And at a $400 million market cap, guys, a 381, this is still really, really cheap. This thing. Well, let me just, I want, you guys should go, there's a lot I want to say about this. This thread is very, very good to go read through. So Pocket Network, if you guys just go follow them, this thread was 4 days ago. I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but it essentially, no, fine, I will. So 2024 will be a breakout year for Pocket Network. Big picture. The future is digital, global, and unstoppable. Its lifeblood is data. Our battle-proven DEPIN will keep that data flowing. Here's how it plays out this year. Firstly, a quick refresher about Pocket Network what RPC is and what gateways are in our world. Hopefully it answers most questions. Skip forward if you don't need it. And so this is, so TLDR is the bull cycle will drive RPC demand, of course, even with zero. And guys, just so you know, the DDoS attack that happened on Manta earlier was a DDoS attack on the RPC network. It was just hammering the RPC network with an overwhelming amount of demand, and the centralized servers couldn't keep up with it. But if you look at Pocket Network, they have 99.99% plus up. They basically never have gone down, right? Why? Because you have a massive network of decentralized nodes who can handle massive amounts of volume. They're handling billion plus requests every single day, right? And I think that the attack on Manta Network earlier was like 350 million requests. So they can handle the traffic. Back to the tweet. So TLDR, so even with zero new gateways, if existing gateways win zero new clients, the bull means strong growth in demand. Every single relay generates protocol revenue, moving us closer to our deflationary target. So anyway, our OG gateway built with Grove is winning major new clients. We've already launched a second gateway, Nodes Infra. We'll add 2 more in the next month. RPC is just a start. We could serve data to any open source data database or AI model. Want to know more? Grove is a winning enterprise level accounts. Together, we're founding members of Infura's decentralized infrastructure, DEPIN. Infura is a giant. Some of their volume will now flow through Grove and Pocket Network, generating protocol revenues. I'm gonna get to this in just a second. Nodes launched the second gateway in Q3 and are blowing people away with performance metrics. They're releasing open source gateway kit that will be used by at least 2 more gateways to launch the next month, starting to scale out the gateway strategy. In Q2 2024, the ability to launch a gateway will become permissionless, unlocked by the Shannon upgrade, our new modular blockchain that should deploy on Celestia mainnet in June. So so Pocket is going to roll out their own, and they already are their own layer 1, but now they're doing the Shannon upgrade, which will use Celestia. So another Celestia project data availability, making it cheap. Again, another reason why it's even cheaper. This is why I love Pocket from an investment here. Again, layer 1 blockchain, incredibly unique use case, monopoly, generating massive amounts of revenue. Everybody is using them, including MetaMask. I'll get to that in just a second. Layer 1, and all private sale investors were out a long time ago. It is truly it doesn't need, the brilliant thing here is it doesn't need a bunch of adapts for it to be successful. It has a specific use case, connecting the outside world to blockchains and be able to pull data through wallets and things like that, right? So I can't tell you how bullish I am on this thing. It's going to absolutely crush it. The reason I think it just had this nice slow growth is because they don't really do marketing, and people haven't picked up on this, except for us nerds who really realize the value. And here's the value, right? Pocket Network is the RPC base layer anyone can build on, including other RPCs. But why would they? Cost. Protocol fees is 85 cents per mil versus over $4 per mil on centralized things. So you have this massive cost savings. I don't know, was it 80% cost savings? Scalability, instant access to 50 plus blockchain chains with one connection. Uptime, thousands of nodes in 22 countries, 66 bare metal. So the strategy is already working. And again, anyway, because you can go read through the rest of this. I'm not going to read through the rest of this, but listen to Michael here at Mainnet 2023.
Our biggest challenges have been really the last couple of years working on the quality of service of Pocket and making sure that that is world class. And one of the secrets here is that most developers don't actually care that Pocket is decentralized. They just actually want infrastructure that works. And we've gotten to a scale of 1 to 2 billion requests a day purely on the merits of the product itself, meaning it's faster, it's more reliable, and it's significantly cheaper, which is really the original vision of DEPIN and why we're here in the first place. We felt that Pocket and networks like Pocket could be better by virtue of being decentralized, not just, hey, we have a network, come use it. So for us, when we think about competing against centralized providers and this sort of thing, everyone has to make a trade-off. And effectively in Web3, there's an infinite number of types of solutions that a centralized provider can offer to their customers. So for us, it's really about doubling down on the strengths of a network like Pocket and letting 1,000 gateways bloom, rather than saying, hey, we're just going to serve NFT APIs or DeFi APIs. And that's really what we're most excited about in terms of kind of hitting the broader market when it comes to the types of services that people can provide.
Most importantly, guys, this is the key secret here. I always like to make the comparison, and in the tweet we talked about earlier was actually that comparison. When you can provide a service and it's truly decentralized, removing middlemen, peer-to-peer. Remember, middlemen always they have their value extractors. So Infura, which is owned by Consensus, which is basically the connection gateway of MetaMask, every time there's an RPC call, there's fees charged to that. And Infura, as a centralized company, takes value extraction. And so it makes it more expensive for that data to flow. Pocket is truly decentralized, peer-to-peer. Anytime that you can do something peer-to-peer, you remove that centralized entity, that you save that value that is previously extracted, and you keep it within the network, meaning that providers make more money and the customers pay less. This is what everyone else. So I always use this example. When someone truly builds a decentralized Uber, and it's coming, I just can't wait to see who does it. You're going to be able to download, let's call it Duber, decentralized Uber, right? And So you're gonna be able to go to your app, and let's say that there was like a car sharing aggregator, and it did like Lyft and Grab and like Uber or whatever. But then there's also this new one called Duber, and like you didn't care which one you used, you just wanted to get from your house to the airport, and like the service felt exactly the same. You would want the one that was the cheapest, and also just like seamless experience, felt exactly like Uber, right? Well, Duber would be the cheapest. Why? Because there's no centralized company taking a fee out of that. So your fee goes directly to the driver, which means the driver can actually make more money, and you actually pay less, right? Because there's not that 30% fee or whatever Uber charges. So again, this is why I love to champion for decentralization, and services like this eventually will come into the mainstream consumer, where this is obviously exciting for developers. The chat GPT moment for blockchain comes when this type of behavior, this type of benefit comes to the end user. And all of a sudden, you have decentralized Uber and nobody uses Uber anymore. This is the chat GPT moment that is coming to blockchain. This is why I'm so excited for our industry, guys. And this is why I'm excited for Pocket for now. And from an investment perspective, this thing is, in my opinion, the next kind of chain link in its own class. And I think at a $380 million, this thing is a no-brainer. Guys, that's going to wrap it up tonight. I hope that you found a lot of value from this. I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.